Hi there guys, and welcome to my last Train Sim 2018 video. I'm quite pleased to be able to say that. It's also the last 32-bit video. Yesterday on the stream I was given the opportunity to stream this wonderful new reskin. Guy Major Wales is what I'll call him because I haven't got permission to say his real name on stream. That's his Twitch name. He is on the Facebook page, and this reskin is already available, and it is available exclusively at the moment, I think, through my Facebook group. So thank you very much, Major Wales, for that as well. So if you do want this, you're going to have to head on over to the Facebook page. This scenario is one that was done by Ash Clark. I did stream this. This actually depicts the journey back from Chester when we went up to do the crew meet in August. There is another little surprise as we get to crew to show you that wasn't there on the day we were there, but I was also given it yesterday as well. So let's get on the scenario. It's only 25 minutes. It's literally a Chester-Crewe run. We'll look at this very, very nice livery. It is. I mean, this is this guy's first Train Sim reskin. He did do, I think he said he'd done some flight sim stuff in the past, but for a first attempt, even for somebody's very quite experienced attempt, I'm really, really impressed with this. Really impressed with this. The livery itself, a lot of people going, oh, it's just GA's livery. I think this is quite different to GA's livery. Yes, it's red and white, but apart from that, and the red doors and the white thing, there are the black around the windows. For me, I always thought that the 175 should have had ribbon glazing anyway. I think they would have suited it better, but so it gives it that little look, doesn't it? I do think the black should have probably extended to the doors, but again, they wouldn't have been able to put the actual Transport for Wales logo there either, would they? But anyway, enough of me waffling on. Let's get going, get my last video of TS 2018 out of the way, and start remembering to say Train Sim 2019. First of all, let's get you on. Let's get the cab set up. And then crew, oh, 1142. Let's get that in. Perfect. Oh, it means we should have our saloon lights on. Yes. Let's get our DRA off. Doors open. Instrument lights on. Headlights. Let's get them on today. Double check that. Yep. Cool. Okay. Let's have a closer look at the livery. So as you can see, it's pretty crisp. It's pretty crisp. I'm massively impressed with it. I quite like the livery. I'm one of those weird people that likes the GA livery as well. It's sort of plain but good. And don't get me wrong, this livery is going to look filthy in about a couple of weeks' time. They're going to have a hard job keeping these units clean. But GA seemed to manage it to a point. A lot of the 170s that came out of refurb recently around Cambridge have been relatively clean. And I hope at some point he does do a slightly weathered version of this. The more weathered it gets, I'd like to see it get a bit weathered as well. So it's launch day. It is the 11th of the 10th 2018. It is the launch day for Train Sim 2019. It will be available between 5 and 6 o'clock this evening, all being well, of course. Steam's usual outset is 6 PM UK time, but DTG I think have said 1700. Knowing Steam, my bet is going to be a bit later than that. But let's get going, and then we can waffle some more. And I'm really pleased that somebody else has breathed a bit of new life into the 175. I really quite enjoy driving it with the AP pack. The 175s are one of my favourite modern day DMUs. Even with all their teething troubles and everything like that. This was my first, this journey was actually my first time in a 175, and I found it incredibly comfortable. Incredibly comfortable. I know for various reasons they can't be used on many other areas, but I would love to see these as a replacement for, I'd hate to say this as well, for the 170s, especially on the Stansted trains, just because of the extra storage space and everything these things have. makes a big difference. Now, I know there are lots of reasons why that can't happen. Stansted's fire alarm system, they've only got single leaf doors, I'm well aware of that. I'm not saying that this is something that I'm advocating. It is a fantasy, so don't worry. So you don't need to comment saying, you can't do that because of this, that and the other. I know why you can't. It would be nice anyway. I would like to see it that way. Just realised I've got this set to foggy. It wasn't actually foggy on our journey back. The reason it is set as foggy is because my North Wales coastal can play up sometimes, and I have to change the weather all the time, and this was just one of the weathers that was working at the time. My North Wales coastal has now sorted itself out a little bit, which is nice. So, Crewe, 20 miles. About 18 minutes. We'll slow right down, passing the Heritage Centre, because that is where there's a little surprise. There's just something really nice about the sounds on this. And the physics, it's nice to drive as well. It's a nice unit. I know there's people out there that really hate them. I'm not one of those. So all being well, this should be my third video that's gone up today. I recorded 2 yesterday and this one today, and they should all be up today. The reason I've tried to do this is basically so you guys had something to watch when you're doing your either downloading your new TS, or if you're doing what I'm going to do, and that'll be a full reinstall, then you'll have something to watch while you're tediously downloading tons and tons of stuff and reinstalling tons and tons of stuff. Don't forget, guys, that Klaus's batch installer for the AP packs is available on the Facebook page as well. That makes installing Armstrong Powerhouse packs a darn sight easier if you've got a lot of them to put in. It's two packs actually. There's one that Klaus did, which like unpacks them and everything like that, and then there's another one that actually installs them by another guy who, unfortunately, and I'm really sorry, the name has slipped my mind at this time. But the link is in the description below for the Facebook page. Also, very rarely, I'm going to say, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and hit that little notification bell as well. That is purely because I'm about to hit, I think I'm about less than 20 off 6,000 subscribers, which will make this day even more special for me if I do manage to get to 6,000 subscribers on the launch day of TS 2019. Don't know, that just excites me a little bit. I think the livery really suits the 175s. It's quite plain, understated, tasteful. It's not what I think I spoke about this in another video that might actually be going up then. It's not like what I'd call a Fisher-Price livery. And by that I mean, as much as I relatively like the East Midlands Trains livery, it's very in your face, very primary. It's like, yeah, primary school. And some of the Midlands liveries at the minute, God knows what they're doing with them. I also think the VTEC livery is a bit of a Fisher-Price livery as well. It's very in your face, very swooshy, very... Look at me. Which is what they're supposed to do, really, I suppose, isn't it? It's what they're there for. Grab your attention. Sorry about drinking. It is very early in the morning. I snuck out of the house very, very early. And believe it or not, putting the kettle on will wake my children, as daft as that sounds, because the dogs will bark because I know I'm up. So I had to sneak out. So I just grabbed one of the super cheapy Tesco Blue Spark that my wife is currently having to drink at times. I'm not really a fan of anything sugar-free. They just tend to be full of horrible sweeteners that leave a weird film on my tongue. Otherwise, I would have just had my coffee. There was a lot of talk last night in the stream as well about 64-bit, obviously, and what we should expect. And some people were getting themselves in a bit of a tiz. Not really a tiz. I don't mean it like that. But have been very cautious and erring on the side of caution, which I think is a sensible thing to do with this release tonight. Of course, I've been over this a billion times about. Yes, we'll be able to do longer routes. Yes, we'll be able to have more realistic AI. And people are going, yeah, but you'll just flood scenarios with AI, and then you'll still have no frame rate. Klaus made a very good point last night. At the moment, a scenario that he's got that is dumping is missing one moving AI and two static locos to make it exactly how it should have been on the day. So even when we're talking about getting these realistic timetable scenarios, we're not adding in 50 more trains than we already have. We're going to be adding in a few extras. That's what you're going to expect. Yes, Pete has done these merged routes, but as Pete has even stated himself, these are just to show it can be done. These are not saying nobody's going to want to drive. Nobody's going to want to load up the whole of the West Coast Main Line to drive from Preston to Carlisle. So you're still going to use the other routes that are there. And the scenarios are still going to be coming for those routes. Not every new scenario is going to be on some mad, giant, merged route. It's not going to happen that way. As much as I am going to enjoy driving those merged routes, doing the AI for a whole run is going to be pretty tough on the scenario creators. Oh, and before anybody gripes about the interiors, I've had it confirmed that the interiors haven't been changed in real life, so it is as it should be. Now, one of the really interesting things that I hadn't noticed until somebody pointed this out to me not that long ago. If you look on the 175, the door to the driver's cab is within the vestibule here, right? There's a door between the passenger cabin, a glass door, I may add, between the passenger cabin and the driver's cab. But in this, It's like you're going straight into the driver's cab. So this is also to remember that DTG don't always get things right. They do a very good job on a lot of things, but they don't always get things right. Although I am confident about 64-bit. I'm confident about 64-bit. I may be eating my words. I hope I'm not, basically. I'll say what I said in the stream. I didn't realise how pretty actually this stretch of line is, and a couple of the guys, especially APT Brian and Mold Junction, who both use this line incredibly regularly, kind of said, well, we do it every day, so we don't really realise it. It's a very pretty bit of railway, this. Really pretty bit of railway. Castles and hills to your right, canals and stuff to your left. I really liked it. I never really think of Crewe as particularly pretty. But 10 minutes out of it, and it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I know there are lots of places outside Crewe 10 minutes away that will be very pretty. But it's just, you know, you have that sort of southern thing in your head that it's grim up north. It was beautiful. It really was really, really pretty. And I know it's not grim up north, and there are plenty of stunningly beautiful places up north. Just be nice if I'd remember to change the scenario whether you'd see it all. I do apologise. You've probably all got this route anyway. But if you do get a chance to do it in real life, it's very nice. I haven't gone past Chester, but I would like to do the full run up. It'd be nice to run down. I've always read about the Mostyn Fun Ship and everything like that, and so the SS Duke of Lancaster. Is it Lancaster? Yeah. And all that sort of thing. And I've never really actually had the opportunity to see it in real life. So I'd like to even to go past on the train would be nice. Oh, that was a 70 limit. Fingers crossed we don't get a dump at the end of this. If we do, though, I don't care, because hopefully this is the last time that I've loaded up trains from 2018. Fingers crossed this is the last time I have to load up 2018. So if we get a dump at the end of this, I really don't care. It'll be its final goodbye. My stream finished last night on an out of memory error as well. And I said, that's my last dump. And then I thought, I need to get this video out for this guy today. Give these people something to watch. So Ash has also been really good here, and he's put a lot of stock in the Crewe electric depot as well. He's put a lot of the 90s and stuff in there. They're all sitting rotting, unfortunately. And I'm going to take it slow past the Heritage Centre. I should probably hop out of the cab and go and have a look at what I've got to show you. And just fingers crossed, actually, this bit I'd like to have. I've been saying about that dump. I want to show this off first, before it dumps. I can't remember where my camera is to get my pointy hands in there. Because there is a reskin in here to show you. So, Crewe Heritage Centre. You've already seen it if you've got good eyes. There's a Lady Diana, which I did have a little cab ride on that was lovely. Now this is what I am here to show you. This is not the finished article, okay? This is not the finished article. The alpha layer is still a bit shiny and stuff, and Kev's working on it. This is the GBRF 60095, which is beautiful. It also has some really cool cab texture upgrades as well, and they've even been upgraded since I drove it. So they have, Kev has done wonders with that cab, and this will do me now with that cab update until we get, which has been announced on their page as well, the Bossman Games 60. So Bossman Games are famous for the Black 5 and did an amazing job from what I know. I've driven that Black 5, and it's probably one of the steam engines I've ever driven that way out of my comfort zone complexity wise, but anybody that drives steam will tell you that it is probably the pinnacle of steam scripted locomotives in train sim. Now this I think will be their first foray into diesel and electric, but I'm keeping my eye on that one very closely. It looks stunning already. The renders that have been released look very nice. But this will do in the meantime. This will do in the meantime. It is weathered, because it is going to look filthy very soon. The reason for that is that actually the mapping of this, the way that you have to paint it, is pretty horrendous. So Kev Butler, Aces Trains, has done the best he can with it at the moment. It's not finished, as I said. He should hopefully have it out within the next few days. With the cab update and everything like that, so do expect to see a scenario with that in there as well. This is the stock that was around on the day that we were at Crewe as well. There's my beautiful little baby there. So let's get this in. This 87 is actually very cool. They had the pantograph going up and down when we were there. It's nice. I call it Mathers 87. So we'll give Brian a horn. And I was really lucky to actually talk about some, hopefully some future collaboration work with IC82. Any of you guys that watch model railway stuff will know of IC82, I'm sure. And there's some things hopefully in the pipeline soon that'd be really nice. We've agreed in principle. Oh, and just a heads up, because I'm having to get these ones out early, these will not have the Mole Man thumbnails. So all the thumbnails that you see on my page are all done by Moleman, and unfortunately he's not going to get these in time to get the thumbnails done for me to put them up for today. They will be updated as and when he gets a chance. I'm assuming that. I shouldn't really assume that. He's been a wonderful, wonderful bloke. Love him to bits for the work and the support that he's helped me with over the last few months, definitely. He has been a true, true, true gentleman. So let's pull this in. It was actually Moleman that put me in touch with Thin City 82 as well. Right, let's. Oh, that does look nice like that, doesn't it? Let's shift D instead. Control D there for a second. Yes! Let's get doors open, end this scenario, and say goodbye to Train Sim 2018. This isn't a fun thing. It's done me well. 32-bit Train Sim really is what we should call it. Has done me very, very well. And of course, I have fond memories, and a lot of the talk and laughs I've had have been because of dumps. But it's also caused me hours of frustration. If I count up how many hours videoing I've lost due to out of memory errors alone, not including all the other types of dumps that you get, but just out of memory errors, I reckon it's probably a few days worth. So actually I'm really pleased that we hope that they are a thing of the past. Once again, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me. Please feel free to like, share, and please do subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit that notification button as well, it helps you out as well as me. Head over to the Facebook page if you would like this livery, and also Klaus's batch installer for the AP packs, and all the pretty much some of the top people in Train Sim are on that group. So it is a very, very, very interesting group with lots and lots of good information going on. Also, join me over on Twitch from a Sunday from 7 p.m. and from Wednesday from 7 p.m. Also, with that, hit that follow button, because sometimes I get the odd chance that I can stream, or a new pack comes out, or something comes out, and I can get a couple of hours streaming somewhere in the evenings. So if you follow straight away, you'll get a notification when I go live, and then you won't miss the little in-between streams. Well, some of those have been real gems. Some of those things I've been sent and I've wanted to stream and show it off straight away. So it is definitely a real, real gem. So, once again, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me, and I will catch you on Train Sim 2019.